So today we'll be doing a class that's going to focus on the spine and improving mobility in the spine. And to do this we will be using a wall. I will also be using a chair and also a pillow as well. If you don't have a wall, then you can do this practice without the wall. It's just great for that extra support throughout the practice, and I'll kind of explain a little bit why throughout. So when we're ready, we'll start at the wall and we'll just bring our thumbs towards the wall. Feet are out slightly, maybe about half a foot, not half a foot, a couple of inches out. And we'll just bring the back of our head to the wall. And on the inhale, we'll reach the arms up, bring the backs of the hands to the wall, start to lengthen through the spine. And on the exhale, bring the arms back down. So this is our moving Tadasana or mountain pose. So on the inhale, reaching the arms up. And exhale, bring them back down. 2 more times. Inhale, reach the arms up, stretch through the fingers. And exhale to bring them back down. Last time, inhale, reaching up. And exhale, bring them back down. Great. Just take a moment here, give a slight bend in the knees. Just letting your breath return to its natural rhythm. And then from here we'll move into a warrior one stance. So bring the left back heel so it's up against the wall, so you've got that extra support there. And then bring the front foot forward, stacking the knee over the ankle, hips are pointing forward. So we're in our warrior one stance. And we'll do a few movements just to start to waken up the upper body, really open up the chest. So bring your hands so they're in towards the chest, backs of the fingers together, really just gazing forward. And then we'll start to bring the arms out, rotating the hands so they're facing forwards, and really start to pull the thumb back towards the wall, so open up through the chest. And on the inhale, we'll start to round forward, bring the hands back in together. So inhale to open up. Exhale, round forward, just bringing the hands back to the chest. Try and keep that bend in the front knee if you can. Keep the hips facing forward. And just moving with your breath in your own time. We'll do about 3 more of these. This just really helps to waken up the spine. 1 more, bring the hands in. And then on the inhale, reach the hands out. And then releasing the arms, we'll switch sides. So left foot forward, right back of the heel is towards the back of the wall. Toes are pointing out about 45 degrees. Bending that front knee over the front ankle, hips facing forward. And we'll start again with those movements. Bringing the hands in towards the chest, dropping the chin down. On the inhale, reaching the arms out, palms facing forward, really open up through the chest. Really helps to try and imagine the pinky fingers and the thumb are kind of rotating towards the back of the room, so you open up through the chest. And then on the exhale, bring the hands in, just chin to chest, rounding through that upper part of the back. Inhale, open up. Exhale, coming back in. So again, just moving with your own breath in your own time. If you lose track of the breath, don't worry, just come back to it. It's quite common to lose track, it's all about practice, but be kind to yourself. And we'll just do this 3 more times. Coming in on the exhale and opening up on the inhale. Last time. Great. And then bringing the feet back towards the wall. So we want, again, a bit of distance between the heels of the feet and the wall. Bringing your bum onto the wall, so resting there, back of the head resting on the wall. You want your feet about hip distance apart. And on the next inhale, we'll reach the arms up. And on the exhale, I want you to start to hinge forward at the hips, keeping your bum against the wall, keeping a bend in the knees, or just bring the hands down towards the floor. If you do have a chair, you can use your chair to rest the hands on if you like. Generous bend in the knees, releasing the head and the neck, maybe giving it a little bit of a shake out. And then on the inhale, we'll start to walk the hands up the back of the wall so they're about in line with your bum or your hips. Start to bring the chest up, so flat back. Start to push into the wall so you can start to feel a bit of length in the spine. Maybe creating space in the neck. And on the exhale, releasing back down to a forward fold, releasing the hands. And on the next inhale, just slowly rolling our way up one vertebrae at a time. Bringing the hands up but no the head, gaze can be up. And then exhale, release the hands down by the sides. We'll do that 2 more times, just moving through this variation of a forward fold. Really great for, again, waking up the back body and the spine. So on the next inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, start to hinge forward at the hips, keeping the bum supported by the wall. Bending through the knees, bring the hands down, releasing the head and the neck. And then on the next inhale, bringing your hands so they're in line with, or about in line with the hips, wherever you can reach. Start to push through the wall as you make your way up. Notice if you can feel any space created in the spine. And then exhale, releasing back down, release the hands, release the neck. And then slowly start to roll your way up. Bring the hands up overhead. And then exhale to release the arms down by the side. So last time, inhale, reaching the hands up, gaze can be up. Exhale to hinge forward at the hips, start to bend the knees, release the head, release the arms, just let yourself dangle here. And on the next inhale, bring the hands to the wall, start to push into the wall as you lengthen through the spine for a halfway lift. And then exhale, releasing back down, releasing the head, releasing the neck. And on the next inhale, just slowly roll your way up. Bringing the hands, the arms up overhead, gaze can be up. And then exhale, releasing the arms down by the side. Great. So now we'll move into a warrior 2 stance. So again, we want the back of the heel towards the wall and the feet are pointing out about 45 degrees. Front knee comes forward, knee stacked over the ankle, and start to rotate your hips towards the side, long side of the mat. So I've got my left foot back, my right leg forward. Bring your hands to your hips. And we'll move into an extended side angle pose. So bringing your arms out, or your front arm out, start to hinge forward at the hip. Bring that right hand down so the forearm is resting against the thigh. Continue to open up through the chest. So you can stay here if you like, maybe just leaving your hand on the hip. Or you can bring that left arm up and over. So you've got a nice straight line down the left fingertips, down the side body, so you get a nice stretch all down that side. Again, you can stay here if you like, or on the inhale, you can just start to reach the arm up, following the hand with the eyes. And inhale, bringing it back up and over. Exhale, moving the hand towards the wall. Inhale, back up. So we're just moving again with our breath. This just helps to build some heat in the body, helps to strengthen the core, and we get a bit of a stretch in the side body as well, so working with the lateral muscles. This is just our last time here. And then start to engage the core muscles, so pull that belly in, and then just make your way up to standing position. We'll take this on the other side. Left foot out front, right heel the foot against the wall, line yourself up again, rotating the hips towards the opposite long edge of the mat. Bring your hands to your hips. Front arm can come out straight. Start to hinge forward at the hips. Bring that forearm down to the top of the thigh. Open up through the chest. You can keep your hand on your hip if you like. Or if it feels okay for the shoulder, on the inhale, just reach the arm up and over. And you can stay here, or you can start to move with your breath. So bringing the arm up, fingertips towards the wall. You can follow the hand with the eyes. That feels okay for the neck. And then just bringing the arm back. Just moving with your own breath and your own time. Noticing what you can feel in the body. Maybe noticing whether this side feels different to the other side. One more time. And then on your way up, start to engage the core muscles and just lift yourself back up. And we'll make our way back to the wall. So this time we'll do a supported side plank. So we want our feet a little bit further out from the wall this time. Maybe just over, I don't know, a couple of feet. I'm trying to work between feet and centimetres, meters here, I don't know. Yeah, about a quarter of a mat distance apart, or maybe an arm distance apart, depending on how long your arms are. So bring your left arm to the wall, and then we'll, on the inhale, reach the right arm over, and you might be able to touch the wall with your top hand, you might not. Just notice where you are. You can always walk in slightly if you like, just adjusting the pose that feels good to you. And as you come over, just start to push the right hips out to the side. And as you do this, you might notice a stretch going all through the side body. So we're working on the side movements of the spine. These can often get quite tight. We don't often stretch these areas. So on the inhale, we'll come back up. We'll do that 2 more times. So on the next inhale, start to push the hips out to the side, and then reaching the arm up and over, seeing if you can touch the wall with the fingertips, maybe with the palm of the hand. Gaze can be up or it can be down, just whatever feels good for the neck. And then on the next inhale, coming back up, releasing the arm. Do that 1 more time. On the next inhale, reach the arm up and over, pushing the hips out to the side. Remember, keep breathing while you're here. And then on the next inhale, just coming up, and we'll do the same on the opposite side. So again, bringing your right arm out to the side, just resting on the wall. And then on the next inhale, reaching the left arm up, start to push the hips out to the side, bringing that left hand up and over. Remember to keep breathing here. And on the next inhale, come back up. 2 more times. The next inhale, reach the arm up and over. And then releasing the arm back down. Last time, inhale, reaching the arm up. Pushing the hips out to the side. Notice if you are rounding forward, just see if you can open up through the chest. And then coming back up, releasing the arms. You might like to shake it out, maybe rolling the shoulders down and back. All right. So this next one, you can use a wall if you want, you don't have to, just see how you go. You may also like to use a chair. I'll bring the chair in front just in case you do want to use a chair for this one. So we'll bring the feet out. So you can readjust the feet when you're in this pose. The main thing is to have the toes in line with the heels, so you want a nice straight line there. You can rest your bum against the wall. Bring your hands to your hips. Really start to lengthen through the spine. So imagine you've got a string attached to the crown of your head and it's really lifting up through the crown of the head. And on the exhale, pull the navel in, hinging from the hips. So you don't want to move from the lower back. You want the movement to come from the hips. And then just start to hinge forward. You can bend the knees, be careful not to lock them out. And you can bring the hands down to the floor, walking the hands out. So the walk can help here because you want to try and keep your hips over your feet for this one, because it really gets into the backs of the legs. Also helps to create some length in the lower back. So by having the wall there, you know that your hips are staying roughly over your ankles. And you just want to walk the hands out like so. Maybe release the head down if that feels good. Or if you want to use a chair, maybe you're not quite at the mat today, which is perfectly fine. Bodies are built differently, so just work with where you are today. If you want to use a chair, you can just rest the hands on the chair. If you've got yoga blocks, you can use yoga blocks if you like. Keeping the bum on the wall. Just staying here for a few deep breaths. Try and breathe into the belly. And as you do that, notice whether you can feel any space be created in the lower back. And then wherever you are, you can start to bring your hands to your hips, bend through the knees, push through the feet, engage the core, and just slowly make your way up to a standing position. So we'll be moving on to our seated poses now. So you're using a chair. I'll also be using a pillow. You don't need to use this if you don't want, but it can help with this spinal twist that we'll be doing next. So we've been working through the 6 movements of the spine. So we've done some lateral movements, side movements with the spine. We've also done some forward folds. So the back and forth movement on the spine. Now we'll do a twist. So if you're using a pillow, just bring it in between your legs. You want your feet grounded on the floor. So maybe if you're quite short, this chair, fortunately for me, is quite a low chair. You might want to put something under the feet just so they are fully supported. Or if you're quite tall, then you might want to sit on something just to bring your sitting bones up so you're in a nice square position. Start to push the legs into the pillow. Inhale to lengthen. And then on the exhale, we'll bring the right hand to the outside of the left knee. The left hand can come to just the side of the chair. And on the inhale, again, lengthen. And on the exhale, if it feels good, you can start to send the gaze over the left shoulder. Only if it feels good for the neck. I'll just hold it here for about 3 deep breaths. So continue to breathe into the belly. Keeping the left shoulder pulling down if you can, so it's not coming up towards the ear. And then on the next exhale, slowly releasing, coming back to center. So we'll take that to the opposite side, so the left hand to the outside of the right knee. Right hand can come to the side of the chair. On the next inhale, really lengthen through the spine. So we want to keep the head stacked over the hips, nice straight line. And on the exhale, start to rotate. Maybe sending the gaze over the right shoulder this time. And if it feels good for the neck. I'm going to take 3 deep breaths here, so try and breathe into the belly. And then slowly releasing on the exhale. If you're using a pillow, you can place that to one side. And then from here, I might just come to the side shoulder. We'll take our hands and we'll just hold on to the sides of the chair, maybe the backs of the chair if you haven't got little sides like me. And we'll just start to open up through the chest, so really pulling the shoulder blades back. Just hold it here, so opening up. You can start to hinge forward at the hips if that feels good, so really starting to deepen into that stretch, keep the back nice and straight. Hold it here for 3 more breaths. Trying to breathe into the belly. And then exhale, release. You can give it a little bit of a shake out if you like. And we are moving into our last pose now. So this is a forward fold. You might like to use some blocks to lean your hands on if you like, or you can just let them just relax and dangle, whatever feels good for you. On the inhale, we'll reach the arms up. And on the exhale, again, hinging at the hips, so it's not coming from the lower back. Start to lean forward, and then our torso down, so it's resting on our thighs. Releasing the arms down, releasing the head down. Maybe just shaking it out, yes or no, gently. You might just be here today, leaving the forearms on the legs, hinging forward, and that's perfectly fine as well. We've still got all the benefits here, just in this last resting pose. And we'll be here for a little while, maybe a couple of minutes. Just taking some nice deep breaths. Breathing in through the nose. Feel the belly expand. Maybe creating a bit of space in the lower back. And then on the exhale, feeling the belly soften as you breathe out of the nose. Notice if you're holding tension anywhere. We tend to hold all that tension in the neck and the shoulders. Just see if you can notice that. And then see whether you can just release that a little bit. If you can't release that, then that's also fine. Just notice that. It's good to notice these little things so we can come back to it in future. Notice whether it changes or whether it stays the same. Just bringing your focus to the breath. As you inhale and exhale. And then slowly we will start to make a few little movements. And we want to come out of this really slowly because we've been in this inversion for quite some time now, and if we move too quick we might get a little bit dizzy, so just slowly supporting the body, the hands as you roll your way up, taking as long as you need. Bringing the head up last. And just taking a moment here. So that brings us to the end of this class for the spine. I hope you feel nice and relaxed and some tension in the spine has gone. And you can do this practice whenever you like, first thing in the morning, last thing at night. It's really a great way to maintain spinal health. Thank you for practicing with me today. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week.